is everyone doing on this lovely, lovely Sunday? So hopefully you guys are ready for a for an awesome, awesome.
Hello. How
Let's see,
is everyone?
my voice is echoing. For an awesome animation review, we've got some like nice two awesome shots to look at, and yeah, it'll be amazing to see what the animators students have like put on here. Let me just message everyone. Stream has started. Join. Cool. So that's everyone. So everyone knows that we're starting now. So again, welcome to the animation review stream. Just to let those know that for those that are watching this for the first time, it's basically when if you join the Discord group, guys, you will know that every now and again, I will have once every week, once every 2 weeks, I will have a session where I take in students' shots, I review them live, and they get instant feedback from me. And yeah, hopefully it helps them improve their shots, and we can take it from there onwards. Cool, let's see who's in the chat just before we get started. Hi, is it possible to focus on the body from frame 1 up? I changed it a lot, and faces fine overall. Cool, yeah, 130. Let's see what's 130. So it's an audio show. So, what I will do is I will have to mute the audio. The reason for that is because if the audio is from a film, and if I play more than like 6 seconds or 7 seconds of a film, what happens is YouTube will see this as me using the audio of a film. So I would have to only be able to see the performance. But that's good to know. 137. Okay, so a lot has changed from 1 to 137, and from 137 onwards is what you're looking at. Cool. All right. Let's see who else is in the chat. We've got Kaneki. Oh, welcome, Kaneki. Is that your name or is that your alias? Cool. If you've just joined, hit the like, and I will get started. Show some support. Subscribe, like, share. Cool. No, hit that like and we'll get started. Cool, guys. Let's see. All right, and this is Bib's shot, so I will start with this one over here. I think I did a review on this, right? With a cute girl. She was doing some cute acting stuff. She's looking over here. No, looks over there. Oh, cool. I think your key poses are cool. You've got the right beats in there. You could do with a bit of offsetting the motion. So for example, when the head moves and the chest moves and the hips, you could start to break that down a little bit more. So I will do this 137, because that's where you said your shot kind of starts from. Okay, so when she does drop her head down, see how like the head itself, oops, let's get a bigger pencil. What's that better? Let's use this. No painting. Let's use that. Cool. So if you look at her head moves down, but her body, it's all happening at the same time. What you want is, like, you want either the body and then the head drag, or you want the head and then the body drop. So that's kind of like a performance-based thing where I leave that up to you. But if it was me, if she's gonna go, that, for me, naturally, just doing it over here, just performing it out, it feels like it's the hips, the chest and the shoulders, and then the head drags down. So I would have the hips go down just very slowly, and then the chest. So yeah, it's the hips, the chest, and then the head. Just you can just drag the nose a little bit, so when the body's going down, it kind of stays there and it comes down. So yeah, that's kind of like my way of pushing this, just to offset. If, like, you see my video, overlapping action, that's all I do. It's just breaking the body up, but still keeping the same performance you have. So that's for that section. Yeah. And when you do come down, everything feels a little bit evenish. See there? Your spacing is kind of even. You have an ease in there and maybe just a little bit up there. But what I would do is just keep it up a little bit more. So that way, all these spacings that you have here, around there, they're not just completely even. So you can have something like this. I start here, I end here, like this. You know, that's going to give you a bit more of an organic feel where you go, this. At the moment, it's very even. So let's just like have some nice ease out and easing around here, and that's going to make the middle part a bit more faster. So let's see. Cool. And when you do hit this, when you hit pose, try to live in the pose. I can see that you're hitting your pose. So if you follow the nose, it goes down, 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 stays there. You want to push through, come up, and settle. We're never, even when we're holding a pose, guys, we're never in a static pose. We're always, even if I'm standing still, I would always be like breathing up, coming down, slightly to the right, slightly to the left. It's not a VFX thing where it's super, super realistic, even if you're doing cartoony animation. Cartoony as in like Disney and DreamWorks, not Hotel T and Cloudy. You would still want a bit of, what can I say, overlapping action, like push through that pose a little bit, come back, settle. I don't mean you have to be very, whoa, seaweedy. It doesn't have to be like underwater, but we need a little bit more of that follow through, coming back, and then settling. So if you look at the nose, just follow the nose for the head. Bang, bang. Yeah, it just goes, whoosh, stays there. So let's have a bit more of a that. So watch my Oscar-winning acting skills, by the way. So if I was her, which I'm clearly not, but yeah. You know, something like that. Just push through, slowly come up, and then settle back down. It's like you're releasing that energy. Let's see if they're saying anything. Oh, it's just a nickname. Cool. I mean, finally catch a stream. Yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. If you've just joined, hit that like. How many times do I say that? You guys should know this already. You're part of the tribe. Hit that like and enjoy the video. Cool. It's amazing to see like familiar faces as well in the chat. So that's nice. John, Kaneki. You can let me know your real name in the Discord. Cool. Let's see. Bibs, how many frames would you recommend for the follow through? Let's see. Let's take a look. That's a good question. So push, 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 push. So let's just say that's your. If there's no like specific 2 frames, 5 frames, it's more how it feels with the amount you've put in. I'm saying if 152 is your pose, you like hit that pose and you stay there, I would expect at least 2 to 4 frames, just push through and then come back in again, 4 frames, see what that looks like. 2 frames would be easing in, another 2 frames almost stopping, and then a couple frames back. It's like I said, there's no specific number. It just, you'll do it and you're like, oh, I need some more, or it's too much. But what is for sure is we need to follow through. You need to push through that pose. You're like going, whoosh, bang. Well, you need to push through and come back, settle. That's kind of what you need. That amazing line that I just drew. Cool. All right, and let's see the body. All right, so the shoulders as well, bang. It's doing the same thing. So when you do drop the shoulders, you can drop them. They could just come down and a small settle back up. So it's happening a bit too quickly. So up here is nice. There. Over here, it just stops. Like you have big spacing, like you're doing this, big spacing, and then stop. It's that. So try to ease off some of the big spacing you have so you can ease into that final pose. All right, I think this part, we're done with this part. Your poses are... I think your facial expression is pretty cute. If I can just say one small thing, because you know me, I like to say one small thing. Let's do one with the facial expression. So, I really like how you have, like the face, the whole body is like a bouncing ball. If you want to do, like, look at what happens to my eye when I bring this right corner of my mouth. Just naturally, this part squeezes, this part opens. So if I'm pulling this mouth corner up, this part squeezes, that part gets bigger. Yeah, and for those that I'm not reviewing their shots and you are guys just enjoying the live stream, feel free to ask some questions as well about the shots that you're seeing that's technical. Any questions that you have, guys, that's like, oh, in the industry and films and movies that I worked on or stuff. If we could just keep that a little bit later towards the end where I'll just take random types of questions, that would be amazing. That way I want to get through to everybody. So I'm looking at the eyes at the moment and I really like facial expressions. It's cool what you've done with the mouth. It's just, if the cheeks are going up here, I would expect this part to be a bit like that part to be a bit more like this, and this eye to be a bit more open. So feel free, because it is your shot, to push this a little bit more, just a little bit more. Because when I am teaching in class, there's so many things I'm trying to get notes to students so quickly. I just don't have the time. But now I'm dedicating more time to you guys, so it helps. See how now, like, she's got a bit of a, That's not a great drawing. It's supposed to be a 2D animator. That's not great. It's drawing on a Wacom is so weird, guys. I would draw on my iPad, but then it's really glitchy. So you see how now we have this? It's a bit more of a, Maybe I can push this a bit more. Because this is, you're holding that pose for quite a bit. So you see how that is a bit like this? That is a bit like this. How that screen left eye is a bit more open, a bit more closed, this one here, compared to this one where we can open it up a little bit more. Like that. You know, something along those lines. I think you could just push what you have. Because at the moment we have a very even eyebrow, even eyes, and tilted mouth, which is nice. It's just, it'll be nice to squeeze this part as well. And you can maybe have some cheeks puffing as well. So yeah. Cool. All right, let's keep going. All right. All right, let's see this awesome bit. Cool. So again, I'm just thinking if I was her, right, at this point, she does this, she sighs, she's internalizing a little bit. But I'm looking at the hips don't go up. But if the head goes up, the chest goes back. So if I'm doing it now, like I'm just sitting down and go, my butt kind of goes up a little bit. Like you would naturally, for this body motion to happen, your hips will go up as well. So try to involve the hips as well with the motion of the body. So, you know, if we want to get that nice sigh, yeah. And if I was you, so if you're looking at me acting this now, I hope you are, just check me out. How I'm doing it. So I'm going to sigh, but look at my shoulders. It's like I'm inhaling, my shoulders go up before my head. So it's not a, this, you would naturally be, the chest would inhale, the shoulders go up. So, and if I'm doing the backwards motion, the head is overlapping from the chest. So it's not the head going this, it's more of a, I'll do it from the side just so you guys can see as well. So it's more of a, you know, I have a bit of a forward to back. So that kind of thing. So if we can involve that, that'll be great. And it's basically a case of chest, slight forward back, inhale, shoulders go up. So that's the, but when you do that, there's a small head dragging forward. So it's a, there's a very small, not a lot. See how I'm like rotating forward, coming, and then coming back up, that. And then you need to involve a down and an up. So at the moment, we don't have that. We have a bit of a, the head goes back, chest goes back, shoulders all go up. So it's all happening like that, all at the same time. So we need to kind of add a little bit more layers on top of that. And also we need to add it up and down on the hips. I hope that helps. Let's see. That's really helpful. I hope so. It looks like it just pops too much. Yeah, no, it's, I mean, animation, right? You kind of skip one thing and then all of a sudden, bang. And what I would say is for the fingers, I do think there's room to really adjust this a little bit more, to go from just flat hands to just a little bit more texture. It's fine, you can still have the hands like that, sorry, the fingers, but it will be nice to just, you know, just have this a little bit more, just to show the pressure that she's applying. It doesn't have to be like this, but Where is it? Can I show something? So if you look at my fingers and I'm like, you know what I mean? Just something a little bit more. It doesn't have to be like this, but just something a little bit more like that. Just so they're not like all straight on the floor flat. Yeah, I think this one's the best one I can show. You know, it's still flat. However, we can feel that pressure on the table that she's pushing her hand on. Okay, cool. We spoke about this, and when you are pulling, don't do this. Do that. So I'm going to use my Wacom tablet to show you guys. There. So if I have my hand on here, if I'm going to pull, I wouldn't do this. I would do that. See, there's a drag as the fingers are going up. I know it's blurring because of, but you might want to have a bit of a, rather than straight, have a bit more of a, you know, like your hand is still rising as you're dragging. It's that. At the moment, it's doing this. You know, let's just add a little bit more to that. So these hands are just like rising up, but at the same time it's dragging to twisting. Cool. And what's going to happen is when you raise the hands up, your body needs to be, you know, we spoke about that. You need to have a up and down. So when you go into this, because at the moment your hips, if you look at your hips, they stay in the same place. You need to have a small anticipation down, up, and down for that whole this when you're going back there to get into this pose. At the moment, your hair, her head is there. Whoops, that's her hips. She's doing this right on the table. I'm doing stick men and stick women just so I can show it quickly. She's going from here to there, but it's just going straight back. The hips need to have a up and down to transfer that energy. And the reason why it can feel clicky or flat sometimes without weight is because if we move in a linear line, like just back, you know, every time you take a footstep, you have to go up and down, up and down. So we really need to try apply that as much as we can as well. So just keep that in mind. We need to have just a, this is from the side view, by the way. So if I was looking at her through here on the side, it would be nice to have a down, up as she's going backwards, and then she's there. So that's what we're missing around here. Yeah, like I would say the biggest thing for you, Bibs, is like just to make sure you involve the hips. Whenever the head and the chest move, the hips have to go up and down. Because look, again, you're doing this, that kind of stuff. If that's happening, the hips are always going up and down. There, look, she's going to look up. But if you look at the hips, like look at this little section here, that little part of her trousers or shorts, it's quite static. It's just doing this rotation to the side with her hips, which is fine. You can always have that hip swinging to the side, but when there's no translation to the left and right, and especially up and down, it feels kind of isolated in one spot and rotations are happening a little bit unorganically. But once you add these translations, that really comes to life. So yeah, I would look into adding a bit more of that, especially with your reference. So you don't have your reference here, but I'm sure you do on your computer, so you'll be able to see what's happening in your hips. Yeah, here as well, like let's do overlapping action. So when the head goes down, the chest starts to come down. Then when the head goes up, chest starts to go back, but make sure it's happening 2 to 3, maybe 4 frames later. At the moment, I'm seeing they're kind of happening at the same time. And this is a very big spacing. I think this feels a little bit too pushed. I will just pull it down a little bit more, you know. It's nice. I like how much you pushed it. It's actually better, guys, if you push your shot and it's a bit too much. I can say, oh yeah, let's pull back a little bit. Whereas if it's here, I'm like, push a bit more. No, a bit more. A bit more. You know where I'm going with this. A bit more. There. So it's better to push just like you have. And then we can pull back. So, because I can see her, you know, it just feels a little bit, just a tad bit awkward. So we can do this. And for the hands, we call this asymmetry. So if the hands are like this, this, it's very symmetrical. To create asymmetry is just to break that up a little bit. So if the hands are like this, just have this one a little bit more straighter and keep this one the same, or the other way around, whichever one you like. Okay, let's play the last little section as well. Okay, I think the last little section is as similar as this. You know, when the head comes down? It's a similar note that I'm going to give to that as well. So when the head goes down, see how it kind of hits a bit of a wall? So she goes, click, bang, she hits there, and that's it. So you need to push through, just track her nose. So if I was to track her nose from here to see how far she's going, let's do that frame by frame. There. See what happens? She's going down, 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 and then bounces back up. I would expect it to be more of a, like a bit more of a soft cushion. So a few more frames, her slowing down, but never fully stopping, and then rising back up. So try to apply a bit of that. And even when you come down, like the head is going down, again with the hips. So let's try to add that up and down. I think for you, the main thing is like the translation on the hips, overlapping action on the body, and make sure you have some follow through. So when you hit a pose, you don't just stop or bam and bounce back. You follow through and come back out of that. Let's see if there's anything else in the end. And last but not least, I think we can just push this final pose a little bit more. Whoops, that's crazy too much. There, and keep this one high. So maybe just like squeeze this part of the face and maybe just have, you know, the mouth a little bit more this way. Not too much, just a little bit. But yeah, I think that's it from me. That's a good half an hour maybe. Let's see. Yeah, you said this section of the shot changed a little bit. Yeah, and all my notes were like mechanics based, so it wasn't nothing to do with, oh, don't make your character act like that. It's, you know, when you show this to your instructor or whoever is teaching you, they're still going to be able to, you know, it's not changing your shot in any way. It's just trying to improve the mechanics of your shot. So yeah, keep going, Bibs, and yeah, let's see if, you know, if there's another animation review. I'd definitely love to see your shot again, see how far you get with this. But keep pushing, and remember, like, let's try to apply those as much as we can into your shot. Let me see if you have any questions in the meantime, because my screen is over here to see what you guys are saying. Cool, let's see what you guys are saying. So, John finally catches the stream. Bibs, how many frames? Blah, blah, blah. That's really helpful. I know. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's a nice touch. Shakira will be disappointed. Thank you so much. No, you're welcome. Hope this is helpful for you, and you've got some more notes and feedback to keep, you know, pushing on with your shot to improve it. But I'm seeing improvements definitely. Just yeah, it's just very tedious animation, but once you start getting the hang of things and like start applying these principles consistently, it just becomes second nature. So keep going. Let's see you add those adjustments to your shot, and it will be nice to see your shot in the future again with like all the changes that you've done from now. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it, and if you want to stick around for the end of the stream for the next shot as well, that'd be great. But yeah, cool. Hopefully that was helpful. Keep going. Awesome stuff. All right, I'll move on to the next animation review now. So cool. All right, let's see the next animation review. Guys, if you're in the chat, hit that like. It shows me you enjoy animation reviews. Cool. Or maybe you're just saying, oh, he said hit the like. I'm not going to now. I'll show him. That's what I used to think as well sometimes when I was watching some streams. But cool. All right, let's see this shot. It's from Kaneki. Kaneki, are you there? If you put something in the chat, I will know you are here. And even if you're not, I will go ahead with your review and you can see this a little bit later. So, cool. Let's get started. So if you have any questions, Kaneki, feel free to let me know in the chat, and while I'm reviewing, I will be able to, get back to you as well. All right, let's see the shot, guys. I would really like to listen to this with the audio. Have you? Oh, you're there. Cool, awesome. Are you currently working on this shot with an instructor, or is this a personal shot that you're working on, or is it a shot that you finished that you want to get reviewed again? Just curious. Because your mechanics are looking like, for the most part, it's looking good. There's obviously areas we can improve. It doesn't have the audio. No, it does. It's just if I play it and it's a clip from a movie, I don't want it to kind of get taken down, because YouTube will take the video down if they're hearing audio from a film or a clip and stuff like that. Let me just play just a little bit.
This is where you're living? This is where you're living?
Okay, I can play bit by bit.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear it when I play the audio?
Has its charms. Yeah. Has its charms.
Okay, yeah, it has its charms.
The rats are like a Pokemon.
Okay, I'm seeing a few things now. Now that I'm playing, I finished the show, but I want to go back. No, that's totally fine. Okay, I'm seeing some things now.
With the Hep C.
Okay, cool. So he's being asked,
this is where you're living?
This is where you're living? Like, the person that's asking this is like really surprised. Like, this is where you live? It's a bit of a slob.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. He's like confirming that he does live here, but he's a little bit uncertain, kind of a little bit embarrassed, but it's showing off by his performance.
Has its...
Okay, awesome. That's good to hear. You can hear this?
Charms?
What I think over here is when he's saying, yeah, it has its charms, it's a moment for you to like really push. There's two things. One is the performance. Well, that's two. One is the performance, and two is the mechanics. So I think there's areas where you can push the eyebrows, like really get the eyebrows doing, yeah, like looking away, yeah, yeah, it's got its charms. Like squinty, that's really going to help. At the moment, you've got big eyes, big-ish eyes, and going a bit more squinty is going to help.
This is where you're living?
This part feels a little bit even. Like, she goes, this is where you're living? You can make that a bit more interesting with the way he gets up. At the moment, it's a bit like this, and it could be a bit more, like, not cartoony, but let me just show you the spacing. The spacing feels, at the moment, Kaneki, it feels... Do you want to tell me your real name, or should I just go Kaneki? Because it's going to stick, that's what I'm saying. It feels like this. That character rising up feels like that, like your spacing. It feels very even. Whereas it would be nice if it was doing something like this. You ease out, you speed up, big spacing, slow down. And it doesn't have to be massive, but just adding that ease in and ease out is going to help. So if I follow his... And you know what? For the most part, the head is moving. The chest is not moving. That's one thing. Number two, whenever you want to look down or you want to look up, you would anticipate in the opposite way. So it's the spacing, it's the offset of the body. And number three, you need a very small down anticipation. And I don't mean something like, whoa, it's not that. It's super, super tiny. So here, for example, are there. Frame 27, he goes up, right? He starts to move up. I would on 24, 23, 25, I would do a small nose come down. The nose comes down, hips start to come down. Nose goes up, hips continue coming down. So the hips are just behind. Does that make sense? Just let me know in the chat if what I just gave you, the feedback, that makes sense. Because what I need is the nose and the head to come down. As that comes down, the chest and then the hips will come down. But it's like this guy's number 1, this guy here is number 2, this guy here is number 3. But it has to be very minimal, like very small amounts of, you just need to feel this, like a very small anticipation going down. And then guess what? When you do raise your head up, your chest will come up and then your hips need to come up. Again, this guy's super subtle, kind of subtle, subtle. So hopefully that makes sense for that section. I think that's what's missing in that little part.
Yeah.
And you know what? What would be nice is when you get to this pose, there. You get to this pose on 42, 43. It's like you get to that pose and then you go to the next one. I can see your main keyframes there. So for example, this is your pose 1, 2, and 3. But I'm seeing 1, 2, 3. It's like you're going from pose to pose, right? How about we get into this pose a bit quicker? So 42, right? Let's say we get there at 38. And that's going to make this faster as well. So the spacing around here, 38, push that closer to 42. And then from 38 to 42 or 45, you're going to have like a hold, moving hold. So basically you look at it this way. So it's going to be, yeah. And then there's like a small pause. It's not a flat frame where it's just a pose. It's, if you were to look at me from the side, 38 will be this, 45 will be that. So it's more of a that will be a moving hold where we see that pose a little bit longer. You would have used up time to get there a bit more quicker. And yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Totally makes sense. It's what I like to hear. Cool. All right. That way, you see like so much things that we could add over here in the beginning.
This is where you're living?
And also, when we're doing the anticipation for the down, when he goes down for the anticipation that we spoke about, again, small anticipation, not big cartoony. It just needs to feel like he gets that energy. When he goes down, 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 shoulders come up. Like when we go down, not a lot, tiny bit, shoulders go up, both at the same time, it's totally fine. And then when the body starts to go up, head, chest, shoulders, body mover rotates up or goes up, then we slowly start to drop the shoulders. Once he gets up here, shoulders have finished and he's settling, shoulders come back. So it's more of a, like that, right? Cool. All right, that's a lot of notes for that little section. Let's see, even though your shot's good, there's a lot of things that we can add to, you know, push.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This section's nice. This is a little bit pushed, but I'm fine with it because it's, you know, yeah, he's kind of loose and it doesn't bother me too much. It's for a split second. What I think we need to add is another anticipation here. Look at the head. The head goes down. You're going for an, because you got it in your reference. You're doing that in your reference. But look, shoulders are going up. This stays flat. Chest is, even when I'm leaning down like this, my chest is leaning forward. Why? Because my neck is connected to my chest and my head. It's impossible for me to lean forward and keep my chest flat. So just by knowing this, you need to rotate the chest forward. You need to start having it down on the hips. And then when he, let's see. Yeah, that is basically what the hips should be doing as well. You raise the shoulders and then 2 frames later, the hips go up and down. So the hips need to do, yeah, like that. You come down for the anticipation, yeah, this.
Yeah.
And when he does, yeah, there, you still need to have a bit of an up and down. So if you were to look at my, just track my nose, yeah, you know, it's not just yeah, and I stay there. It's yeah, you know, there's this dun dun dun, that kind of thing happening. He goes down, he goes up. I would expect when the shoulders are coming down and chest is going forward, the nose goes up. There, like that. Like, yeah. Even if you stay up on this pose, I don't have your reference, so I'm guessing you stay up on that pose, you will still have a yeah. You know, you're looking there, but it's still doing that up and down settle.
You know, has its charm.
You know, has its charms. Well, hopefully that's all making sense. Yeah, guys, anyone else watching, enjoying this, hit that like, drop some comments, let me know what you think. If you're enjoying this, if you would like to have your animation viewed as well. But yeah, but it was from school. Let's see, I'm not finished the shot, but I want to go back. It was from school. Yes, I can hear it. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, if you got any questions while I'm reviewing your shot, Kaneki, let me know. So usually, generally, this is like a rule in animation. If you're looking at me, let's see. There. So you guys can look at me. If I'm going to look this way, that way, I usually do this. If I'm going to look the other way, usually your eyes are open. Towards the direction you're looking. And if I'm looking that way, this is very exaggerated, but this is like a rule in animation. This part is opening, that part. So the direction you're looking, because you wouldn't squint in the direction you're looking, because you won't be able to see, right? It just doesn't make sense. So it doesn't mean you have to go extreme like this, but this is just general rule. So when you're looking in this direction, let's see there. I would say something like, you know, let's add a bit of a squint. So let's say 84 is your one and 85 is mine. It's mine. Cool. And this is fine. For anybody that wants to learn animation as well, I am giving private lessons as well, whether it's games animation, creature animation, or feature animation, because I've worked in VFX games and feature, so if something like that does interest you, feel free to reach out. I adjust my courses to you guys depending on what you want to study, rather than you for having to follow a specific course. Cool. All right, so let's get that in there. Look, you're just going to add a bit more of a squint. And look, oh my god, this is so cool. I really like facial animation as well. I mean, I just like animation in general. See how... you see, this is why I get, like, when I watch One Piece and stuff like that, I get excited because it gives me a chance. Let's puff that cheek a little bit. I'm not sure, you know, like... Whoops. You puff that cheek, you squint a little bit more. I'm ruining his eyebrows though. I'm not too sure, dude. It's like, you know, that's what you're doing. You're favoring this side a little bit more. Let's put some... Let's add a bit of that because that's what his mouth's going to look like. So this to me looks like an opportunity where you can really, really push the pose, get that mouth open, and really sell the whole idea of, you know, like, it's kind of not bad, this apartment. But from his expression, we can tell it really is bad. He's just trying to hide it. He's just not a good liar. So that's kind of like what I think you can, as an animator, this is a really cool shot or a moment to help sell this. So yeah, so from this, we have quite even eyebrows, quite even eyes and kind of straightforward mouth to I'm not too sure, you know, that kind of thing. So hopefully that helps. There we go. Cool. And I would also recommend like puffing that cheek up as well. So because of this side, it's pushing up to his cheeks, which is helping cause the squint. It looks like he's got a black eye now. And yeah, I think you just favor one side a little bit more, and that's going to help you quite a bit. So hopefully that helps. Let's see if you guys are saying anything in the chats before I continue. Never thought about that. Whoops, I can't miss the chat. Let's see. Never thought about that. That sounds great. Yeah. And Kaneki, one more thing as well is, if anything I say in terms of like pushing the poses goes against your shots, or you think it will, discuss that with your instructor. But I think you said you finished the course on this shot. But for me, like, feel free to take the notes that you think will work. I can just give you my professional advice. It's not changing the shot. It's, for me, it's like, you know, it's just pushing what you have, not to change anything that you have. There, look, you know, that's my kind of feeling. And then when you do open your eyes, you're going to go from this guy to that, which is a nice. You always want to go, you always want to squint the eyes as much as you can. And then, whoops, there. And then when you go for a big pose, you know, like to open the eyes, it's going to be even more exaggerated because you've squinted them before. So yeah, just the contrast really helps. Okay, let's keep it moving.
The rats are like...
Okay, so this is one thing I wanted to speak to you about.
Pokemon.
As much as we can, we want to keep the character's face, both eyes, visible, even when we rotate the head. So we're kind of playing towards camera. You want to avoid going full profile where my left eye is not visible, or like this, and even more so like that, back of the head. So if I was you personally, because we're losing the face now, we just have a profile shot. You can still have this animation, however, to retain seeing the character's facial expressions while he's speaking, I would do this. That is the most I would turn him away. You can still do like, oh, I'm turning this, like rats and stuff around there, but you're playing more towards the camera. Still rotated, but you still keep this eye. So that's kind of like a general note. I would keep him a bit more like this. Let's zoom here. So let's say that's his face. Whoops. So even if he's looking over here, we can still kind of not cheat, but use our creative acting choices and performance choices to just keep him more towards the camera rather than losing him. So he could be looking that way, but look, I can still see this eye. Yeah, I don't know how his hair is like that. Let's give him hair, you know, that kind of a hair. Cool. So I would do this rather than, whoops, completely side on, you know. That we just can't lose everything. Here we can still keep the expressions. So just try to add that for this section. It's going to make, just look at your head, your chest, because you want your chest, hips, and head feeling connected. This is looking there, that is looking completely different. So I would just favor something in between this and this, midway there. Cool. All right, let's keep going.
The rats are like Pokemon.
Okay, cool. I see another thing. So there's two things. You either drag with the hips, which is what I think you're doing, or you lead with the head. The hips is more of a cartoony, that kind of thing. If that's what you're going for, let me know, because I think that's what you're going for. But if you want more of a lead with the head, which is 80% of the time it's like this. But you can go with the hips. It's just you need to make sure that you're dragging. The hips are going like this, and then the body is dragging as a secondary action. At the moment, it's kind of moving like, where is it? At the moment, it's moving like 1 unit, like this. You need more of a, you know, like a whiplash, you know, if you have one of those whips. So if I was to sketch this, so his head is here, his body's here. I'll put this on. See how you move there? You need to follow this. You move there. I mean, you kind of get the idea, right? You want that drag to feel like it's coming from the hips and going all the way across to the body. Something like that. Cool. Oh yeah, I totally agree with your post. It's more interesting. That shows my first shot doing. Cool. Yeah, so if you are leading with the hips, we definitely need to feel like this. It's like what I'm drawing right now. Like, we need to feel that bend in the body.
Rats are like Pokemon. Rats are like Pokemon. Rats are like.
It's not that great what I've just done there, but if you get the idea, we just want to break that head, chest, and hips. The hips go, but you don't want it to feel like one unit going. You want it to feel like that. And you need to really put the rotate Z of the chest, rotate Z of the body, and rotate Z of the head. So it really feels like this. You know, just break that up as much as you can.
Rats are like Pokemon.
We spoke about the face there. Let's go to this section. We've got like about a good 10 more minutes, guys, and we should be coming towards the end. Guys, for those of you that aren't showing shots, prepare your questions in about 5 minutes. I'll take any questions you want as well. So,
Come on. With the Hep C.
Oh, God.
Come on. With the Hep C.
Oh, God.
Come on. With the Hep C.
you got some nice overlaps. Like you're tracking your arms. I can see that with the head. Yeah. So when you come over here, right, when you do this with the head, great. But just like we spoke in Bibiana's shot as well, Bib's shot, do stuff like this. You hit your pose, very like, that's my pose, right? But do this. Push through, come down, settle. That's gonna, you're moving, but you're following through that pose. You're pushing through that pose, you're settling, and that's eating up time, and that's also creating you a moving hold. So you don't just go, I'm there, I'm quite static, okay, let's move again, right? All that follow through, pushing for a pose and then settling back is what's really happening in our body. But at the same time, you're keeping a moving hold, because like, your follow through is not this. This is where I need to go to. You're not doing that. You're basically moving slightly past, slightly settling down, but it's taking you longer. It's not a sharp movement. That way, you keep the character in this pose. There, you keep the character in this pose, and he's alive. And when you do that with the head, you have to offset with the chest. It has to do the same thing. The hips have to go down, up, down, up. That way the whole body's moving. Cool. All right.
With the Hep C.
Yeah, I like that with the Hep C.
With the Hep C.
Rats are like Pokemon with the Hep C.
It's a nice pose you have. This feels a little bit, I'm not too sure, it feels like gunfinger kind of pose. I think you could have got something a little bit more comfortable, like hands on hips, like, you know, I'm doing it, you can't see because it's off camera, but let's just see if we can get a nice hand pose in there. Let's put my sketchy skills to the test. Let's see if I can really sketch. Or have I been lying to you guys? So how would I do it? There. Okay. So something like this. So I think you can get all those fingers in there. And then this finger is there. It's not the same proportions, obviously. But you know, I think you can do that. Like really try to get those hands like this on your hips. Let's see if we can make this a bit more clear. Yeah, something like that maybe. Just a little bit more. You know, I think you can. You've got room to put those fingers across your upper thigh where your pelvic area is. Let's pick red. And you can definitely like get this finger around there. Cool. Let's zoom out. You know, I see the hips going back, but I don't see them going down. So if all this is dropping, the hips need to drop as well, like just a bit so it feels like a dunk-dunk, you know, because of the weight of the chest and the head coming down. That's one. And number two, what you're doing is nice. You're leading with the chest first. But if that's happening, you need to put the head up. So for example, if you look at me from the side, I'm going to lean forward. It's going up, right? Because my chest is pushing forward like. Don't over-exaggerate, but we want a bit of a drag up, then down. That's to break up and do some overlapping action. Well, like offset. So it's not all just going forward, forward, down, up. It's forward, but because this is moving first, there's a slight drag up, then it comes down.
Pokemon. Pokemon.
Be careful as well. Over one frame, you're here, you got your hands like this. You can add a bit of drag, but over one frame you have a very big drag. If I'm moving from here all the way there, then I can put big drag. The drag is like smear frames or motion blur to help tell you, oh, you've moved a big distance and I'm overlapping so much to kind of help you read that it's moving such a big distance. But when you have it over one frame, it feels like you have two keys, two different keys. You have this, that. I don't think there's any need to do it this much. It feels a little bit broken. So I would just like go slightly a bit more like this when you get to this point. Yeah, I think this is the max you should go to when you're here. Cool. Yeah, besides that, it's just offsetting and mainly up and down with the hips just to keep alive. So, no, I think you're in a good spot. Keep going, man. There's obviously lots of things that we can still keep looking at, but those are the ones that kind of struck me straight off the bat. Oh, this one as well. Look at the shoulder here. Look at the shoulder there. I would maybe either raise this one up a little bit more or drop this one. It just feels a bit, you know, unbalanced. Cool. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Did we enjoy the reviews, guys? Is anyone else watching? Do you guys have any questions? We're coming towards the very end of the actual review itself. Any questions on animation styles? Is there anything you would like to see me do? You know, in live streams, maybe a video that you would like to see. Because I'm going to be bringing out like animation basics series, like, you know, timing, spacing, ease in, ease out, posing. I have lots for posing in the videos channel if you want to check that out. Super handful, thank you so much for the time. No, I'll write some questions. Yeah, feel free to write anything you want into the comment section. If you have any questions, you're more than helpful. So go very helpful. Or possible for you to do a video doing lip sync and how to get really no shades. Well, the thing with lip sync is I'm happy to do that. Lip sync is, let me put it this way, guys. There's animation, and I think so. Let's separate this. I want to make this very clear. Body mechanics is not just the boring making characters move animation, and lip sync and acting is the cool stuff. They're both animation. I would even go far as to say body mechanics is basically the 12 principles of animation, and facial animation and lip sync is like a thing of its own. So I would say I could definitely have like a simple lip sync acting class, definitely. But I want to do more like a detailed masterclasses for those where you guys can get more stuff out. But like not just yet. I want to focus more on like the basics, the mechanics, advanced mechanics. And then once you guys feel confident with that, then I would like to get more detailed stuff in for you as well. So let's see, when you are animating an acting shot, do you have a specific workflow like pose to pose, or go straight to spline and just work from there? So the way I like to work, I'm going to be honest with you, it depends on the kind of shot. Okay, depending on the project I'm working. So if I'm working for a studio where they want to see lots of detail, I will animate things on 2s, 3s, 4s, like put as much keys as I can. If I'm working for a studio where they just want to see final, like VFX, they don't understand poses. They just want to see, it's like working in a film set. Take one, the actor, actress, they act it out, and the director goes, cool, that was nice. Take two, again. That's what you're working with. But obviously, it depends on what field you're in. But personally, if it was me, I like to put as much information as I can with key poses and then quite a few breakdowns to sell the idea. So yeah, pose to pose and quite a few breakdowns. But your key poses have to be really nice, because if I'm, let me see where I am. Cool, there I can see myself. So if I've got like a punch, I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go for the punch. If your pose here is kind of meh, and then your punch is like that, all the work you're going to do in between is like a build up to that kind of weak pose, or that pose that could have been pushed more. Whereas if you have this kind of really nice recoiled push anticipation and this really strong punch, all the work there is going to be working up to that really strong pose. So think of it as the key poses are your checkpoints, and then you just need to work in between to make it work now. So you're not like figuring stuff out. Well, you are figuring stuff out, but you're going to hit that awesome anticipation and then go into that awesome punch. And everything else in between is just to help it work. So think of it like that. Next question. So, okay, so we answered Bib's question on lip sync. So I will try to get some stuff in there. Like, you know what I could do, Bibs? Even though I answered this, I can go into it a little bit more. I could do a session where I'm talking about facial animation and just some facial poses, how to get some good facial poses. That might be a good introduction to facial animation and posing in my channel. So that could be something I could do. When we go to, okay, and we spoke about Kaneki. Just one more thing, Kaneki, on that is, if I am working on a VFX show, it's different. If I've got a creature, maybe I'll use half the body and work in spline straight away. If it's a snake, how are you going to block it? Just go to spline and just drag it across. If it's a character that's flying, I'll grab the global, move the global around, because how am I going? I need to figure out the timing and motion rather than the performance first, if that makes sense. So let's see, John, when you block, do you go straight to 2s or go from 4s to 2s? For me, when I block, I get the main key poses and then I put keys in between. So it's not it has to be on 4s and 2s. Even though that's how I work, but I don't specifically think, oh, every 2 I need to. I'm thinking more about, let me grab the key poses and where are the breakdowns. And then I'm like, okay, cool. All the stuff that's in between, I can just put some keys to do the spacing, but I'm not thinking, where's the 2, this keyframe 2, I need to put something, if that makes sense. So anticipation, punch. Okay, let's say it happens in 50 frames. Okay, where's my breakdowns? When he goes down, down, down. Okay, I want to grab that when he's at the lowest. When he starts to move up, 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 before the spacing gets big, I want to grab that. That's kind of how I'm thinking. Once I've done those 2 things, the keyframes and the main breakdowns to tell what's happening, then all the stuff in between, I would either go into the graph editor, or I would just like bang, 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 hit my keys on 2s, 3s, 1, 2, whatever it is, just to fill in the space. Not necessarily I go ahead on 2s, you know? Have you ever think about doing challenges like X amount of time trying to animate something? Could be fun for the channel. I mean, have you seen, Kaneki, the body mechanics masterclass animation that I've done? I think we just finished part 9, so that was, I am trying to get it done as quickly as I can. So it's 100 frames of animation I've done in 9 hours, which is, I think, not bad, you know. And I am kind of like half the time, quarter of the time speaking to you guys, so I probably would have done that in less time. But yeah, I guess, but I could do maybe a challenge as well. Yeah, maybe. But for me, it's not about like a speed challenge. For me, it's more about quality over quantity, because if you guys see a the main purpose of this channel is like to help you guys learn animation. If you want to learn from me, you can learn from me privately. If you want to learn from just the channel, totally fine. But it's more important to be like real quick. It's more important to learn how to animate in detail and know how to do everything from top to bottom. Even if you're doing it slow now, you're going to get faster and faster. So that's my like main priority. Let me open this because it's getting a bit dark. So yeah, so for me, it's not like a speech. I enjoy kind of teaching you guys more than I actually enjoy animating now, I guess, that much, because I've been doing it for so long. So yeah, that's kind of my thing. But let's see if I can show you guys very quickly. If you were here for the live stream yesterday, was it yesterday? I can't remember. Yesterday or the day before, I did the live stream, and I'll hit the play blast. Let me just show you guys the play blast. So this is what the final results were. That's us right now, which is funny. We're in a live stream looking at another live stream. So look, I've put crazy amounts of timestamps. I've gone in there and done it. So anything you like, if you look over here, I'm even talking about One Piece, as always. So final play blast, I'll show you here. So you can go to the very end and see. So this is it. So that was done. It's breathing. He jumps back, punch, block, whatever, turn around. And yeah, that was done in about 9 hours. I would say maybe 8 hours if I was not talking to anyone and listening to music. So I don't think there's really any need for speed challenge, I guess. It's more of a, I'm more interested if it was a case of, oh, Pokemon challenge, like animate a Pokemon, or animate a dragon, or animate something kung fu-y like this. That's more interesting to me rather than how quickly can you do it, because when you work in a studio, that's a normal thing. They always expect you to animate fast, fast, fast. So it's, yeah. Cool. Hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, I like those 1 minute verse, 1 hour verse, 1 day animation comparison, millions of views. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in that. Like I said, I'd rather do a really interesting, cool animation rather than something that's pushing me, because when you're working in a studio, you're being pushed every day to animate fast. I'm watching it. I'm in part 6, I think. Haha. So I still have some time more. Yeah, cool. Like, so the masterclass that I've created, Body Mechanics Animation Masterclass, usually, I'm going to be honest with you guys, that kind of stuff is not kind of shown by YouTube animators. They usually have that as a, like, they sell that stuff, which is great for them. And I would do that stuff as well for the future. But if you watch that masterclass, you see a senior animator taking a shot from beginning, blocking in detail to spline, and I'm going to go and polish in the next episode. So you're basically seeing my whole workflow. I have more tips and tricks, obviously, because this is one shot that I've done. But that should show you a lot and a lot. So you're getting a lot of like freebies and goodies and like a lot of tips from those 9 episodes. Like you don't need a million videos. That whole video series of 9-10 episodes gives you like so much. Because usually in the YouTube channels, you've seen it, right? Like it's 10-minute, 5-minute, 2-minute clips here and there. Those are easy, but if you sit there for a whole hour and animate the whole shot head to toe, that's a different thing, you know, because well, use it. Like it's there for you guys to watch for free, so just make the most of it. And I will be making more stuff. Just let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed it. I'll make more similar videos. But the more masterclasses in the future, I'll probably have that for more of a private like sales stuff. But in the meantime, for now, you can just watch all you want. Let's see if there's any other questions. Cool. I have got some responses for the One Piece stuff. Like people really like the One Piece breakdowns that I've done, and I am a One Piece fan myself. So I was thinking maybe I'm really into anime as well, so I could do an animation that's very One Piece like or driven. So you know, like very anime. If you guys are interested in stuff like that, anime style animation. So yeah, I could do that as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, guys, I think we're coming to the end of it. I hope you all enjoyed it. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, comments in the comment section or even in the chat, doesn't matter. Hit that like, share this video if you want with your friends, if they like this kind of stuff, but they don't know my channel. Hit the like, share, subscribe, and after finishing the shot, have you think of what to do for the next channel? Next channel? What do you mean next channel? After finishing the shot, have you thought of anything you want to do next? Oh, next for the channel. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got a few things lined up, like the principles, so ease ins, ease outs, maybe some more squash and stretches. I've done poses, maybe arcs, maybe facial animation, like Bib said as well. I could do something like that. Video for the channel. Yeah. So I've got a few things coming up. So like I said, every Wednesday I try to do a live stream, and every Friday I try to get a video out, and on the weekends I have the shorts. But sometimes, you know, life, I end up getting the short video out in the week and the live stream, but it might be on different days. So that's why it's great to be in the Discord channel. So join the Discord channel, guys. It's in my bio in the homepage. When you're in the Discord channel and I'm like, oh, I need to jump on a live stream now, click. Everyone there, all the guys, girls, everyone, they know, they can see. I'll just put the link in there, jump onto the live stream straight away. Sometimes, you know, I jump onto a live stream last minute, so yeah, that's life. Cool. But yeah, I'll have more stuff for you guys. And like I said, if you want to learn animation, CG animation from me, whether it's games, creature, VFX, TV, or cinematics, or feature, let me know. But in the meantime, enjoy the videos. It's been awesome having you guys on the stream today. Hit the like on the way out, and I will see you guys on the next video. And just drop a comment if you like it, if you want to see something specific. Just let me know, because I'll go through the comments and see what you guys are thinking. Because, you know, if you guys subscribe to the channel, it means you know, you like what's on the channel, and I want to do stuff for you guys. So yeah, cool. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, weekend, wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next